league play. This is the Knights' first trip, though, into Allen Fieldhouse as part of the Big 12. Set to jump things up, and UCF will win the opening tap. They get the ball immediately to Peterson.
And not only is this the first trip to Allen Fieldhouse, but they've been in Kansas since they played Kansas State on Saturday, so they've had to endure a lot of this bad weather. I'm sure they are looking forward to getting back to Orlando right now.
80s in Orlando. They're hoping to get out tonight after the game is over. Post move is off the mark from Adcock. Back the other way come the Jayhawks for the first time. Mentioned Harshaw rewarded with the start again tonight. Nadir El Tayeb, who started the other night as well and performed well at a post position, gets a start. Somaya Copeland back in the starting lineup. She replaces Laia Canessa tonight as a starter for Kansas. Here's Harshaw, spinning to the lane, draws a double team. El Tayeb missed the short jumper. Directing traffic out front is Neve Brown. Emily Rodriguez, one of the youngsters for UCF, one of their freshmen. Need some good production from their freshman players, a very young team, one of the youngest in the conference.
What color would you say these jerseys are for KU tonight?
Well, it's not off-white. It's not
kind of a cream.
Gold. Cream would probably be the best one. So the alternate jerseys tonight.
Kind of simple. They've got a kind of cool vibe to them and different look for the Jayhawks tonight.
The Adidas uniforms designed by Jerry Lorenzo. They're called a sleek minimalist uniform. There you go. See, that's what he said.
There you go.
Very simple.
Very
right?
simple.
That would describe it. So one of the alternate jerseys being worn tonight for KU.
And you can see Harshaw had to go to the free throw line because she fired up a three. And you know the scouting report for UCF is she's just coming off a game where she had 8 3-pointers made, so they end up fouling her and sending her to the free throw line.
Harshaw with 26, tied a school record with those 8 threes, also had 6 rebounds. Just her third double-figure game of the season, but was a big one the other night. She looked like she was playing with a bunch of confidence against the Cyclones. Here she is again. This time, dishes to Copeland. Now she gets it back on the backdoor cut, and Harshaw's got the first 5 for Kansas.
So Harshaw started the season extremely well, then was out for an injury and was just having a hard time getting back into the rotation. But you saw the great night in the starting lineup the other night against Iowa State. She's playing with a lot of confidence right now.
Peterson threw a couple of cuts, now has the basketball top of the circle. Rodriguez on the wing. Double team. Chandler Roberts had it blocked away. Here comes Kansas looking to push. Oh, too far for Copeland and thrown out of bounds.
So Harshaw has had a great game, and she's set up with a beautiful pass from Somaya Copeland. Really kind of had herself in a bit of a pickle there. Copeland did, and so Harshaw just doing a terrific job cutting back door to the basket, making herself available, and Copeland delivers the pass.
UCF with an early substitute, Adang Ring, freshman out of Phoenix, in for the first time at a post position. They have a number of freshmen that are getting valuable playing time for this Knights squad. Very young group, as we mentioned. In addition to 5 international players. Brown spots up the 3. Brown gets UCF on the board.
She transferred from ETSU and really has provided some scoring punch, some leadership. She's a graduate student, and with all the young players UCF has, Brown really provides that veteran leadership to this group along with Peterson.
She's really picked up her game in the latter half of the Big 12 as well. Got 7 straight double-figure games and is averaging 12 a game in league play. Here's Somaya Nichols for the first bucket. Jayhawks leading scorer.
So you've got Caitlin Peterson for UCF and Somaya Nichols for Kansas, 2 of the top 3 scorers in the Big 12. And Nichols always so creative, getting the ball up off the backboard, giving herself a chance.
Peterson being defended by Copeland. Gets the handoff back, drives, and is fouled.
A little late on the rotation from Somaya that time. Peterson is so quick and explosive off the handoff. She gets the handoff and Nichols needed to get over there a little bit sooner to cut that off. It needs to be team defense to wall up and not let Peterson get into the paint, and Nichols ends up reaching in and committing a foul.
So Peterson at the line, 74% free throw shooter, averaging better than 21 a game, 20.5 in league play.
Last year she led the conference coming into the Big 12 last year, the first year for UCF. She led the conference in scoring. This year she's number 2 behind Audie Crooks, but she is an explosive, exciting guard.
Foul out front as Adcock whistle for the foul on Somaya Nichols. There's Brandon Schneider, the Jayhawks head coach. His 10th season, 141 wins at KU, 542 for his 27-year career.
I know he has some concerns about the defense because this Kansas team against Iowa State the other night, Kansas shot over 50% from the field. They shot 40% from three-point range and only had 8 turnovers, and they still lost the game to Iowa State.
By double figures.
Yeah,
Crazy.
They gave up 18 three-pointers and allowed Audie Crooks to have a big night inside.
Emily Rodriguez in transition with the bucket.
Rodriguez has just been back for a couple of games for UCF. She was out for 5 with an injury, and the freshman is an explosive scorer. It's part of why I think you see UCF playing better as of late, is these freshmen are getting older, more mature, starting to play better for UCF, and putting themselves in position to make a run here at the end of the season.
Nichols with the turnover. You mentioned Rodriguez averaging 11.1 points per game in the season. That's good for second on this team, so just a freshman chipping in scoring-wise for UCF. Lia Canessa into the Kansas lineup, Reagan Williams as well, and Carla Osma all off the Jayhawk bench.
See, and that was better defense that time for Kansas. You saw the help side step in, and so when Peterson tried to come around the corner, she saw 3 Jayhawk defenders there, and they did a better job as a team of keeping her out of the paint.
So Canessa handling the point guard duties now. Williams picks up her dribble, looking for help, finds Evans. Evans from 3. Off the back iron, long rebound. Kansas will track it down. Williams from the elbow from 15 missed.
Probably settling for too many perimeter shots. Kansas needs to try to get to the rim for some high percentage shots here early to get some rhythm.
Adcock travels in the lane. Good help defense, forces the turnover. Kansas by 1 here early. Just joined the 1,000 point club, and Coach Brandon, his thoughts on his sophomore score.
We've got high expectations for Somaya, regardless of, you know, whether it's a practice or a game. She's establishing herself as, you know, one of the better players in our conference and in the country, and we just got to do everything we can to continue to support her.
And Nichols brings the ball up now. She got her 1,000 point ball handed to her by the head coach, Brandon Schneider. I always think that's one of the cool souvenirs you'll have forever and ever.
No doubt.
You'll be able to put that on the mantle later in life. But how quickly she got to 1,000 points, 58 games, second best in school history. And then, of course, there's the amazing Lynette Woodard, 39 games to get to 1,000 points.
It's just always a reminder whenever you have a comparison stat to Lynette Woodard how amazing she was.
That's Somaya Nichols off to the great, we should say, start as just a sophomore now, past 1,000 points. So officially 1,003 with her 2 points so far here this evening. Kansas the 1-point lead, it's past the midpoint here of this opening quarter. Osma off the screen from Reagan Williams, who's whistled for the moving screen, and a turnover back to UCF.
Just the little lean by Harshaw there, excuse me. Just got to be so careful. I've been watching her on those last couple of possessions, trying to move her feet, get into position. You just got to get yourself planted, and your ball handler needs to wait until you're in position so that you don't set up those kind of fouls to be called.
Ball tapped out by Kansas, so UCF will get it back. Kayala Nagodu in for the first time, sophomore center out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, wearing number 35. Here's Peterson with the crossover. Peterson just one free throw so far. Jayhawks have done a nice job early on the talented scorer. Pull-up shot from Rodriguez. Not an easy one there for Emily Rodriguez.
Yeah, she has played well the last game against Kansas State when she was in Manhattan. Had some really nice drives into the paint. A very explosive, exciting player for this team. And you can see that stretch that she was out for 5 games with an injury. They really missed her.
Little trap here set up now by UCF.
UCF likes to change up their defenses. They showed 3 different zones against K-State and a man-to-man defense as well. And you saw at the beginning of the play there, Brown getting everybody in position.
Vanessa misses the corner 3. UCF with its first lead. Turn it over here on the pass from Rodriguez, overshooting Brown.
UCF likes to score in transition. They are very quick. They like to use their changing defenses to create havoc, to create steals and force turnovers on their opponent and get down and score in transition. That time just an overthrow when they tried to push ahead.
Harshawn Copeland back in the Kansas lineup. Osma and Evans will have a seat. It's an interesting zone as well when you have Caitlin Peterson at 5'9", operating in the back middle portion of the zone.
She's small, but she's very quick side to side, and she can get back and forth and be disruptive.
Really good, 4th in the Big 12 in steals as well, and really good in transition the other way off of steals. Double team on Peterson that time. Good ball rotation, gets Rodriguez an open look at 3, and she hits. Emily Rodriguez with 7 early points.
Yeah, great job of spotting up and being ready to shoot the basketball after Peterson got it out of the double team.
See the good length by UCF as well. Long wingspan of both Ring and Nagodu. 6'2" and 6'3", but long arms. They got it inside to Reagan Williams for the finish.
Yeah, good patience. Showed a little ball fake. Waited for the defender to go up for the shot block and was able to score it. That just nice patience that time for Reagan Williams.
Brown on the bounce. Comes a double team. Is now to Peterson. She blows by the dribble through traffic and hits her first field goal.
I mean, Somaya Copeland is a tremendous defender, and Peterson just went right by her, and the help defense just did not get into position soon enough. That's how lightning quick Peterson is.
Here's Nichols off the screen. Had some room to work. Reagan Williams going to get whistled for her second, both of the moving screen variety. So Williams will have to have a seat with 2 fouls here in this opening quarter.
And you just have to be so careful when you're setting that screen not to roll and move with the defense, because you get called for the moving screen. You just got to stay set. Yes, you can roll to the basket, but you can't. You basically can't slide along in front of the defender that you're screening, because it's a moving screen.
I feel time and time again that's a freshman year.
Yeah.
That's a freshman year call, right? And then you kind of figure it out, but got to weather through the whistles. I think in Big 12 play early on to figure out how to navigate even fouls for her as well. Nagodu with the pull-up jumper. Pretty look from the field from Nagodu. And UCF now a 6-point lead.
And she's only a sophomore. She had an 8-rebound game against K-State on Saturday.
Nichols' tough shot from 15 is off the mark. And another 1 and out. Here comes Rodriguez on the left hand and seals past Nichols and in for the lay-in.
Rodriguez might have gotten away with a little push-off on that one, but she was aggressive and took it right at Nichols.
Rodriguez with 9, averages just over 11 a game. 9 here in this opening quarter. And the lead at 8. Kansas will play for the final shot. Nichols goes with 8. Gets through, hands off to Al-Tayeb, who is fouled. Can't finish, but heads to the line for a pair.
You know, Nichols coming off a game where she had 12 assists against Iowa State. Nice ball fake to deliver the ball to Al-Tayeb to give her a chance to score there. That was the first career double-double for Somaya Nichols, which I find extremely surprising. But a 20-point, 12-assist double-double for Somaya against Iowa State.
And the first one that involved points and assists for the Jayhawks since 2014. Obviously, they had the double-double machine last year of Tania Jackson with points and rebounds, but this was the first one with assists for quite some time. But yeah, it's kind of surprising that Nichols hasn't had one until the other night. So Al-Tayeb hits a pair of free throws.
And Brendan Schneider makes sure he takes Somaya Nichols out so she doesn't accidentally pick up that second foul.
Here we go, you can run.
Allie Steadman in now for UCF, along with Lucy Castagne. Came in for the final play, but they could not get a shot off. But a good opening quarter for the visitors, who lead it by 6.
Some momentum into Kansas City. Texas Tech is hungry for some wins. Iowa State, as you mentioned, playing some of their best basketball right now, but they've got some big games coming up.
Inside out, and Nichols spots up for 3.
And a beautiful pass to set her up by going into the paint, collapsing the defense just a little bit, get them to turn their head and forget about Somaya Nichols coming out of the quarter timeout.
Jayhawks hit 13 threes in their most recent game against Iowa State. That's the first made 3 of the night. Peterson tries to answer for UCF. Too strong. Back comes Nichols to the lane, to the left hand, flipped it up, and it's fouled to the free throw line for Somaya Nichols.
Somaya Nichols, this part of her game is a great improvement, just being ready to hit that three-point shot. And then the next time she comes down the court and she is driving to the basket, doing what she does best, getting to the free throw line. She gets to the free throw line as much as more than anybody in the country. And just a tremendously hard player to guard, because she's #1 in free throw attempts, #2 in free throws made in the country. And it's just hard to keep her in front of you.
Already with a school record. Adding to that, 198 made free throws this season.
She went by Angela Aycock, who was a Big 8 Player of the Year back in the day for the Jayhawks in the 94-95 season.
And oh, by the way, has her number in the rafters here at Allen Fieldhouse.
She was a great, great player. I coached against her.
Peterson double teamed again by Kansas. Seems to be the scouting report here tonight. Leaves Rodriguez open, and she's taking advantage. Emily Rodriguez already in double figures with 12.
Now Rodriguez has come to play. We saw her early with the attacks. She's had a couple of spot-up threes and attacking the rim. She is making herself very difficult to guard.
Drive and kick. Nichols to Evans. Well off the mark on the 3. Here comes Brown pushing up court. Rodriguez says, give me the ball again.
She's hot.
Pull-up jumper from the baseline, maybe a heat check. But Chandler Roberts scoops up the loose ball.
Rodriguez is a freshman. Chandler Roberts is a freshman. These young players, this is usually the time of year when freshmen go, wait a minute, isn't it state tournament time about right now? But instead, these freshmen are really coming together for UCF.
It's that time of year where they start to get it, right? At least the coaches hope so. Evans, double teamed.
You know, and what was really impressive about their performance at K-State, this UCF team did not win and lost by double digits. However, Kansas State came out and made 10 of their first 10 shots in Manhattan. I mean, they could have just buried UCF, and instead the Knights battled back and made it respectable throughout the course of the game, even though they're playing on K-State's home court. And since they've been in Kansas, in the state of Kansas since then, they got some fire right now.
Mahogany Chandler Roberts just picked up her second foul, remains on the floor at the moment. for UCF. Harshaw missed the 3, and back come the Knights. Inside pass stolen away. Evans knocked it free. Here comes Copeland. Copeland to the rim. Too strong. Copeland's a lefty, that time on the right side, and it did not fall on the correct side of the rim. And knocked out of bounds to UCF.
Well, she showed her speed. She got by everybody and had a great look at it. Just wasn't able to finish. On the other end, just a poor decision by Rodriguez. She actually had Peterson on the right wing open, instead forced it inside, and there was a defender right there for Kansas to steal it.
Brown directing traffic. Gets the ball to Rodriguez, but we have an illegal screen set on Akot. Her second.
We talked about that earlier. Kansas has had at least 3 offensive fouls called on moving screens, and it's just been an area of emphasis for officials this year, because I've seen more illegal screens called this year than I have in a long time, I think, and players just have to be more disciplined.
Somaya Nichols, tough jumper from the right of the lane.
Yeah, no doubt tough. Just going in and creating and spinning and manufacturing herself a point.
Nagodu picked up her dribble, thought about a 15-footer, instead gets it to Rodriguez. Drive and kick. Here's Brown, corner 3. Air ball, but scooped up and in. Ring on the offensive board.
And the Kansas defense was all out of system by rotating and trying to help on the drive and just leaving wide open the opportunity for Ring to get that offensive rebound.
So Ring comes in because Akot and Chandler Roberts each pick up 2 fouls down on the post and takes advantage of an offensive board. Here's Nichols, short from 3. Behind the back dribble, here comes Rodriguez. Draws 3 defenders, drives and gets it to fall. I think she went through a 4th Kansas defender on the way to the rack.
That was an incredible move, because she looked like she was completely out of control and somehow got the ball in her hands in a way that she was able to finish with a soft touch at the rim.
No, 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 yes.
Exactly.
Harshaw. Thought about the 3. Instead gets it off now to Nichols. Nichols using the screen, pick and roll. Top of the Pulu, had it blocked away.
UCF, great length inside.
Peterson, guarded by Link now, and Evans could not fire the 3, instead goes drive. Copeland, I think, got a piece of that, and Kansas will have it. The defense by Sanaya Copeland.
And Somaya Nichols gives the, okay, let's just slow down and run an offense signal to her team.
Copeland off the handoff. Got a defender in the air. Instead drives and kicks now. Harshaw for 3 hits.
In fact, Copeland should have taken the shot.
Yeah.
She had the defender up in the air, could have gone to the free throw line. Instead, makes a good decision and sets up a 3-point shot.
Time on the floor. We'll take one as well. 5:01 to go here in the second. UCF continues to lead by 5. Kansas trails by 5. Midpoint here of the second quarter. Jayhawks wearing alternate Adidas jerseys here tonight with the cream color, the blue numerals, and the Kansas and crimson.
A minimalistic look, you said?
Minimalistic design.
There you go.
A shoe combo as well that most of the staffers are wearing tonight.
Get to this time of the year, you want to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, there's the shoe design.
Nice. Have they ever offered you any shoes? I haven't got any shoes.
Once upon a time. It's been a while though. Shout out to Larry Hare, the equipment manager here at KU. Got a pair of shoes here and there.
Nice.
don't know if I have to disclose that for taxes or anything. I'm not sure.
It's out there now. Watch out.
Almost a shot clock violation. Instead, we're going to have a foul.
A little shove in the back on the rebound.
Yeah, push on the rebound by Ring.
It's a little 1-3-1 defense by UCF. They've shown some different zone looks, man-to-man. You got to be careful against that kind of defense. That's exactly what they want to do. They want to make you throw over the top and deflect the basketball.
Here comes Peterson. Good sidestep of Nichols, but can't hit. Allie Steadman, who just checked in, the senior from Phoenix, Miami transfer, got the knockaway. So UCF's kept Kansas off kilter with their switching defenses here in this opening half.
Yeah, back to man-to-man now. Player to player.
Peterson on Nichols. Nichols gets the screen and zigzags in for the bucket.
So tough when she gets to the rim. Creative with the shot, either draws a foul or finds a way to finish a shot.
Somaya Nichols now double figures with 11. Whistle on a foul down low.
Somaya Nichols getting around one defender, past the second help defender. And watch as she goes up and adjusts the ball into her left hand, kisses it off the glass, just so creative with the basketball, so difficult to guard.
Carla Osma whistled for the foul for Kansas, her first. UCF will inbound. They get Rodriguez back on the floor. The freshman's got 14 in this opening half. Kicks in the corner. Brown, long three, missed it. Ring tracked down the air ball. Shot clock does not reset. Rodriguez will handle out front. Against a double team, fadeaway shot, missed it. Rebound fought for, won by Kansas's Altaya.
Kansas has been playing better defense the last few possessions, forcing up tough shots.
UCF now over its last 5. Here's Evans.
Good decision by Evans as her defender came flying at her to take away the three-point shot. Just a nice little one dribble, pull up into an easy jumper.
7 straight points for Kansas to get within 1. Shots fired up and missed, that time by Steadman from 3. Evans a little slow to get up for Kansas. Here comes Canessa. Essentially 1 on 5. Finds Osma, though, in the corner. That one's left short and can't track down the rebound.
That's a missed opportunity, I think, for Kansas. Kansas has been playing well defensively the last couple of possessions. They had the drive by Somaya Nichols. They had the nice jumper from Elle Evans. I don't think they got the best shot that they could have gotten in that last possession to try to regain the lead.
Harshaw back into the Kansas lineup. Nagodu, strong move to the hole. Can't get it to hit. Nichols may have turned the ankle. And a couple players down, one for UCF, Nagodu, and then Nichols helped up.
Well, you're right, Nagodu with a very aggressive move to the rim, and then Somaya Nichols got tangled up as she came to the floor. Looked like she might have stepped on Harshaw's foot there.
And Canessa will check in, and Nichols will get a quick check with the trainer. Canessa on the wing. Evans on the bounce. I think you heard Coach Brandon say, shoot it. Said she gets the drive and is fouled. Chandler Roberts, I think, is going to pick up her 3rd. So Mahogany Chandler Roberts will get her 3rd foul here. So maybe a bit of a risky move, checking her back in with 2. And she'll likely check out here with 1:46 to go in the half. Evans at the free throw line for 2.
And Elle Evans came into this game just 2 games ago, had that big 30-point effort at Cincinnati. Also had 3 of 6 from three-point range in the Iowa State game, in the last game. And that's why Brandon Schneider was yelling, shoot it. that she got the ball. She came off a screen. She was open, but she was open initially, but the defender came at her, and she made a good decision to drive and get to the free throw line.
So Kansas back in front. They've now scored 9 straight. Peterson. Hesitation, draws the foul. And 2 free throws now for Caitlin Peterson.
And Peterson is so shifty, as she was really able to fake out Copeland. Watch how she gets Copeland, gets around Copeland, and then draws the foul with El Tayeb rotating over.
Peterson hits the free throw. Senior cracked the 1,000-point mark this season. 1,079 heading into tonight. Add 4 more. And it's going to be a foul on the rebound. We'll walk down to the other end of the floor. A Deng Ring will get the foul. That'll be the 2nd foul on Ring. So situation down on the blocks. Starting to add up already in the first half for UCF. 3 post players, 2 with 2 and 1 with 3. So Elle Evans goes back the other direction. 83% free throw shooter, hit a pair a moment ago. And Evans hits 2 more. UCF has missed its last 7 from the field. Scoreless from the field in almost 5 minutes. Rodriguez had the hot start. He's fouled out front by Brittany Harshaw. Still not in the bonus, so UCF will trigger in. That's just the 3rd team foul on Kansas here in the 2nd quarter. Brown's been quiet. Handling the ball now for UCF on the drive. El Tayeb slides over and is whistled for the foul. She thought she got balled. Refs say otherwise, and free throws ahead now for Neve Brown.
Well, it was the bump, I think, for El Tayeb that got her the foul. She was pretty clean up top as she got the block, but as she rotated over, yeah, you could see her touching her hip there as she is talking to the official. She came over and bumped with her hip. That's where the foul was called.
El Tayeb picks up her first. Brown hits a pair of free throws and ties the game at 29.
And the made free throw allows UCF to pick up full court. Try to cause some problems for Kansas. They just kind of drop back out of it.
Rodriguez pressuring now, and Canessa nearly forced to travel. Harshaw, backdoor cut for Evans. Little floater is good on the baseline.
That is beautiful body control. That is not something you see a lot when a player makes a great backdoor cut. She was able to just pull up and jump stop and go straight up instead of barreling over the help defender who had rotated over.
Under a minute. Brown goes to work. Lost the handle. It will be off Kansas. Canessa got a piece of it.
So a backdoor cut from Elle Evans and a terrific pass to set her up. But see, she gathered, she made a nice jump stop, and just goes up where that floater, where so often you see if a player's going backdoor, all their momentum's going that way, and they get called for an offensive foul.
Rodriguez trying to beat the shot clock. Fadeaway 3 did not catch iron. Nagodu, though, beats the buzzer with the putback.
Huge offensive rebound for Nagodu, because that play was out of sorts for UCF, and they end up scoring and tying the ball game.
So Kansas will play for the final shot. No Somaya Nichols on the floor. Evans looks at the clock, goes to the left hand, and then whistle and a foul. El Tayeb this time with the moving screen, her 2nd.
And again, the El Tayeb just moving forward and hip checking on the screen instead of just standing there and allowing Evans to use the screen and go around her.
Brown on the runner. Oh, off the window, and the front iron did not drop. But Neve Brown tried to beat the buzzer and almost did. We are tied at halftime. 31-31 at the break. UCF post for UCF. Rodriguez nearly traveled. Got 1 foot in the air, now goes to the dribble. Brown off the rotation 3. Too strong, rebound to Nichols.
2-3 zone defense, rare for KU, and UCF didn't have a lot of movement against it. Didn't attack very well. Good defensive possession to start the quarter for Kansas.
Williams gets the isolation one-on-one. Spins once, twice, too strong. Trying to go at Akkad, who had 2 fouls herself in the opening half. Here's Rodriguez.
An offensive foul called. Looks like Rodriguez got her arm bar up away from her, and that's what was called.
That's the 2nd foul on Rodriguez. Little zone from UCF here. They changed defense as well in that opening half. Really gave Kansas some fits at times. Jayhawks operating offensively in front of their own bench in the second half. Harshaw, an open look at 3 with the extra rotation. Does not fall. Here comes Peterson in transition. Brown trailing and will reset.
Good defensive transition to not allow Peterson to work her magic and get to the rim like she does so well.
Rodriguez double team now. Skip pass. Peterson launches the wing 3. Rebound to Nichols. Nichols on the run. Goes right at Peterson. Left it short. Akkad, drive and kick. Rodriguez spotting on the wing. High archer's no good. Rebound fought for. Peterson on the end line. And it's going to be out of bounds to Kansas.
She got tangled up with a couple of Jayhawks. Can't believe there wasn't a foul called. As she tried to save the ball, got bumped a little bit.
She had the look of, really? Nothing? Teammates finally come and picked her up. And back to play. Scoreless here in the second half thus far. Couple minutes in. Copeland around the world, trying to find Williams and turned it over.
Man, I thought she had herself in position. She could have hit the layup.
Rodriguez whistled for the foul, this time in transition. The push off knocks Copeland to the deck. And she'll pick up her 3rd.
And so after starting the game so well and scoring 14 points in the first half, Rodriguez, she's picked up a couple of fouls here to start the 3rd quarter.
Remains on the floor for the moment. Everybody getting a touch this trip for Kansas. Here's Evans. Pull up from 15. Rodriguez the rebound.
It's a good look, good ball movement. Got Evans into a place where she typically strokes that 15-footer, just wasn't able to deliver that time.
Mentioned each team operating offensively in front of their own bench. Satya Messer calling out the plays from the UCF bench. Inside, Nagodu is fouled. That'll be the 3rd on Reagan Williams.
Nagodu is a very strong player for UCF inside and tenacious and stays with it. That is not a strength of Kansas to have that big post player inside to defend, and Williams is going to be substituted for from El Tayeb, but that's just good recognition by Nagodu, the sophomore, to just continue to pivot and attack and be aggressive in the paint.
It's the 1st. Nagodu with 5 points, 6 rebounds, a couple assists as well. Off the bench. Missed the 2nd one. Ball is tied up. And possession arrow point to Kansas. Allie Stenman off the UCF bench. Checks in at a guard spot. She'll defend on Somaya Nichols. Nichols on the drive through the lane. Drives and kicks this time. Evans, corner 3 is pure.
Somaya Nichols drew a lot of attention as she drove into the paint, and a good recognition to find Elle Evans in the corner.
Changing leads here in the second. Turned over, thrown off the shoulder of Nagodu, who wasn't looking. Back comes Kansas. Evans just cracked double figures with that 3. She joins Nichols, each with 11. Here's Copeland, blocked by Nagodu. Out of bounds to Kansas.
Somaya Nichols driving into the paint, using that ball screen, draws a couple of defenders. They get caught looking at Nichols, and instead she is able to deliver to Evans. And then a good block shot, that time from Nagodu for UCF.
Nichols at the free throw line, gets the pass. Oh, it goes halfway down and slips back out. Nagodu high-low this time. Trying to find Atcott and a whistle and a foul. Will be on Somaya Nichols.
Trying to find her way through, and Somaya Nichols looked like she thought it might have been on UCF, but instead she picked it up.
Denai Papadopoulou back into the Kansas lineup, facing El Tayeb in the middle. Peterson gets the offensive rebound at 5'9" and puts it back.
What a tough rebound. Goes around Copeland to get it and then elevates up for the putback.
I say at 5'9", Copeland's only 5'7", so it's not like Twin Towers down there, but a couple of guards down in the paint. Evans off the screen. Fadeaway this time is airballed off to the right.
That time she did not get her feet under her. She really kind of was leaning on one foot and just wasn't very balanced when she took that shot.
5th tie of the ball game. Here, about the midpoint of the 3rd quarter. Not a lot of scoring thus far in the 3rd. Nagodu deep in the paint that time at the finish.
Nagodu just averages just over 6 points a game, but she is very active in the paint, strong, explosive, and has made her presence known.
Papadopoulou. I don't know how her feet didn't leave the floor there. Thought better of the jump shot. Nichols gets it instead on the drive and is fouled. And we'll head to the free throw line when we come back. UCF by 2.
Everybody, welcome.
Leading by 2. Midpoint of the 3rd quarter. The pace has kind of slowed down, though, here, Brenda, since halftime. Both teams maybe a little bit more dialed in on the defensive end here to start the 2nd half.
Yeah, I think coming out of the halftime locker room, both teams have been more focused defensively. And so now it's going to take some adjustment to see what's available and what each team needs to do to attack. And I think UCF has found some luck going into the paint, pounding it inside, posting up inside. And Kansas goes to their go-to, Somaya Nichols, making things happen off the dribble.
Nichols fouled before the break. And hits a pair. Tie the game at 36. Nichols now with 13. Jayhawks still doing a good job on Peterson. Been limited to 6 thus far. Stedman will fire from 3. That one's no good. Whistle and a foul on the rebound. And it's going to be on Somaya Nichols. 3rd now on Nichols.
Yeah, Somaya Nichols was working hard to block out Atcott and just gets called for the extra push there underneath. She seems a little surprised, but Atcott was really attacking and trying to go for the rebound, and Nichols displaced her with the block out.
Peterson for 3 is good. Her first made 3 of the game.
We expect her to get more involved with the offense. She can get to the rim so easily, but has the ability to hit the 3 as well.
First points of the 2nd half. Peterson now with 9. Nichols fakes the pass to Evans. Stead goes on the bounce. Harshaw, clean look at 3. No good. Nagodu had a hand on the rebound, had it knocked away. Atcott gets it back, and here comes Brown on the push. Paint touch, nothing doing. Now gets it back and resets.
So we saw a little bit of a zone look for Kansas, but they have gone back to the player for player.
Peterson running through a series of screens. Copeland gets the knock away. Nagodu with a hard foul into the basket support. Copeland missed it, but will get 2 free throws.
Good to see her hop up from that, because this is a hard foul as she tries to get out in front. They both go into the stanchion pretty hard. But a quick steal from Copeland. That time, Somaya Nichols was defending Peterson. It had been Sanaya Copeland that had been defending her most of the time. And this time, Copeland using her speed away from the ball to jump in the passing lane and get the steal.
Copeland misses the first. Does hit the second for her first points of the evening. And trim the lead back to 2. Altaya back in at the post spot for Kansas, replacing Papadopoulou. Ring in at a post now, wearing 22 for UCF. Brown had it knocked away by Canessa. Here goes Peterson. Drives, tries to find Ring. And the officials will confer. And at the moment, and will remain UCF basketball. Shot clock at 10. Peterson out front, defended by Copeland. Shot clock at 2. Has to beat it, and does! From the corner, Allie Stedman buries the 3.
And it was such good defense by Copeland to keep Peterson in front and make her give up the basketball, but what a shot by Stedman.
Off the hands of Evans, out of bounds. Turnover to UCF. So nothing doing really offensively. The shot clock running out. They got the ball to Stedman, who buries the 3. Her first bucket of the game.
Shot clock was winding down. Peterson had nowhere to go with it, and Stedman was ready. She was aware of what was happening with the shot clock.
Here's a 3 up and down from Ring.
Just her 4th three-pointer of the year, but sometimes when your teammate starts hitting them, it starts being contagious. And right now, UCF is in that mode from three-point range.
The 6'5" freshman certainly looked comfortable from beyond the arc.
Just another freshman on this team. She has the ability. She likes that face-up game, but she is just 3 of 13 from three-point range coming into this game, just her 4th of the season.
Brown with the foul at the other end sends Elle Evans to the free throw line. Evans with 13, now 6 of 6 at the line as well for the junior.
And Kansas has a real advantage right now at the free throw line. They're 16 of 17 compared to 5 of 8 for UCF. But UCF right now, before that shot, had the advantage from three-point range, and UCF is being very aggressive going for the offensive boards, and now Kansas has gotten called for a couple of fouls trying to block them out.
That foul whistled on Elle Evans, her first. Team foul number 4 here in the 3rd. Peterson. On the drive, baseline cut off well by Evans. Throws it out top, and it's going to be off UCF.
Better defensive possession that time for Kansas. Just not allowing that dribble penetration from Peterson, not allowing her to have a good look at the basket.
Canessa out, Nichols into the Kansas lineup.
As you mentioned earlier, Josh, Kansas keeps facing different looking defenses, so it's causing them to have to set up each time, recognize the defense, and then go into attack mode.
El Tayeb, baseline off the feed from Nichols, who drew the double team, and El Tayeb takes advantage with the baseline jumper.
Yeah, she had some good shots against Iowa State the other night, scored 8 points in that game, looking more confident on that face-up shot.
Peterson right away fires from 3. Stedman gets the long rebound, dumps it inside. The miss by Ring, who tries to get it back again, and it drifts over the rim and in.
UCF is definitely winning the hustle plays right now as they have either forced Kansas to commit some fouls trying to block them out, or in that case, they're able to get the putback to go in.
31-31 at the break, but it's UCF now by 6, under a minute to go here in the third. Evans faked the three. Got Atcott in the air, but didn't take advantage. Here's Harshaw off the rotation and hits the three.
Nice screen by Elle Evans to set up Harshaw, and she took her time. She made sure her feet were set, her shoulders were squared, so she was ready to shoot the three-pointer.
Harshaw coming off a 26-point game, 8 made threes against Iowa State, now in double figures with 11, including 2 made threes. Peterson, long three, off the iron. Rebound tracked down, loose ball again. Another opportunity, Brown flips it up and is fouled. UCF relentless on the offensive glass.
They really have been, and that has been the difference in this third quarter as they continue to attack, and Kansas is just having a really difficult time blocking them out.
So Neve Brown will be at the free throw line. The third attempt on that possession. Missed the first. The foul was on El Tayeb, her third.
I mentioned earlier in the game, Brown, a transfer from ETSU. She was all SoCon first team in her senior season. Comes here as a grad student. Misses both free throws, though. A good leader for this team.
Kansas with the final possession. Gonna have to hurry. Here comes Nichols, tripped near midcourt by Brown. And Somaya Nichols now shooting free throws. Good job by Nichols in transition, almost kind of forcing the action there.
Yeah, and it took a lot just to get out of the backcourt here as they were trying all over to disrupt Nichols, but as she switches her hands and switches directions there, the foul is called. And I don't know if Kansas had enough time to score there or not, but this gives them an opportunity with Nichols going to the free throw line.
Nichols hits the first. 14 points.
And just a reminder, it might seem kind of quiet here at Allen Fieldhouse tonight. The band is not here. The Spirit Squad is not here. There are not very many fans here because it is miserable outside. That below 0 wind chill factor, snowing all day long. And so for the people that made it here, they probably don't live too far away because it was not easy to get here.
Castagne on the dribble, nearly turned it over. Copeland tried to jump the passing lanes. They were trying to get the ball to Peterson for a final shot here in the third quarter. UCF will inbound near midcourt. Peterson now will inbound. See if she looks to get it back on a quick one. Looking for help. Bounces now to Atcott. Atcott on the dribble. Blocked by Evans to end the quarter. So the Jayhawks scoring the final.
Here the Cowgirls have had, so I know they are looking forward to getting a rematch with the Jayhawks.
Atcott, the runner this time, missed it. Reagan Williams with the rebound.
We talked about how aggressive UCF has been on the offensive boards. They've got 11 offensive rebounds that have resulted in 13 second chance points for UCF.
Evans left alone for a moment, did not shoot. Inside to Williams, and that's up and off the glass. Reagan Williams had a quiet night, been in foul trouble, just 9 minutes. But gets the bucket here to put Kansas back in front.
It was a nice two-player game between Evans and Harshaw.
Nagodu, middle of the lane, looking for help. Turns it over. Canessa on the steal.
Tried to force that high-low pass.
Evans in the lane. Too strong. Brown the rebound. Tried to save it. Knessa gets it back. Here's Nichols on a three. Evans tracks down the rebound. They heard your offensive rebound number. Try to get the back cut that time. Williams to Evans, but Nagodu steals it. Here comes Peterson off the window and good.
And she's just so fast, but she's also under control despite being so fast. That time she went right at the defender and did a little sidestep and went around her, where you see so many players in that instance committing an offensive foul.
Nichols on the drive, and one on the bump in the lane by Brown.
So Somaya Nichols is able to go to the free throw line, but on the other end, Caitlin Peterson goes around Harshaw, really able to get around her, and then using the screen, Nichols feels the bump from behind from Brown as Brown was getting around the screen, and she's so good at recognizing when the pressure is there, when the contact is there, and goes up for the shot.
They're double checking the foul. I believe it was Nagodu. Okay, it is back to Brown. I thought it was Brown initially.
Yeah.
Then they gave it to Nagodu. Would have been her fourth. Instead, it'll be Brown's third. Free throw line, Somaya Nichols. And completes the three-point play. So Nichols and Peterson, second and third leading scorers in the Big 12, going toe-to-toe here in the fourth. Kansas by 2. There goes Peterson on the drive, stops and pops. Nichols the rebound. Looking up ahead. Gets it back. Survives the bump here, and it's going to be a push-off this time on Nichols in the lane. That'll be the fourth on Somaya Nichols.
So Peterson, she must have lifted up her arm and pushed off against Peterson as Peterson was guiding her, defending her into the paint.
So Nichols will check out with 4 fouls, 7:39 to go here in the fourth. Like Knessa back on.
That's a big play because Nichols typically goes to the free throw line on those kind of plays, and instead she's on the bench with 4 fouls, and now UCF ties it up.
Nagodu on the putback. Another offensive rebound. Stick back for Nagodu, who has 9 and 7 rebounds.
4 of 5 from the floor as she has just really been aggressive inside.
Rodriguez got the poke away here. Now gets it back in transition. Atcott blocked by Evans. Rodriguez missed the follow. Bodies everywhere. It's 3-on-2 now. Evans, wing 3. No good and a foul. Knessa over the back of Brown.
It really would have been poetic justice if Elle Evans would have hit the 3, because she single-handedly stopped that break as she helped get the block, and then she tipped it out, and the bodies are flying all over, and then she had an opportunity for a 3-pointer there but wasn't able to convert.
They will say just out of bounds, not a foul on Knessa, so out of bounds back to UCF. Peterson out front now for the Knights. 11 points, averages better than 21 a game. Brown, deep 3 to beat the shot clock, and does. Neve Brown from distance.
What a shot from Brown, because once again, the Jayhawks contained Caitlin Peterson, the leading scorer, one of the best in the Big 12, contained her for almost all the shot clock, and she gets rid of it just in time for a 3-pointer to break the back of the Kansas defense. 9th
lead change. UCF up 3. Harshaw tries to answer. And Rodriguez came down with the rebound, but then whistled for the travel.
The shot clock was winding down on the other end. Caitlin Peterson didn't have anywhere to go, helped defenders all over, but she dishes off, and Brown is able to deliver with a huge 3-pointer.
Evans' 3 is in and out. Harshaw's offensive rebound putback is missed. She tipped it out. Now in the hands of Knessa. Jayhawks playing without their leading scorer at the moment. Somaya Nichols on the bench with 4 fouls. She also has 18 points. Here goes Knessa off the screen. A little floater in the lane, in and out. The go-do, another rebound. Up ahead, Peterson. The catch in the lane, kept the footing in traffic and had it blocked.
Well, I thought she caught it and hopped on 1 foot. I thought she traveled. Good defense by Kansas.
Yeah, helter-skelter. They get it across midcourt. Coach Brandon whistles and calls out a new play. Williams slipping behind Nagodu and is fouled. So Reagan Williams will be the free throw line for a pair when we come back. UCF leads it by 3. Seven ties, 9 lead changes. UCF, the latest one, they lead it by 3, 54-51, just past the midpoint here of the 4th quarter. Foul situation, though, for both teams. Something to keep an eye on here down the stretch. Somaya Nichols remains on the Kansas bench with 4. Nagodu, who's played well for UCF with 4. Rodriguez, who had the big first half, scoreless here in the second, but she has 14 with 3. So something to keep an eye on here. See how long the Jayhawks can hold off without Somaya Nichols on the floor. Pick up her 4th with about 2.5 minutes ago. Reagan Williams 1 of 2 at the free throw line. And the lead is 2.
So Nagodu is on the bench with her 4 fouls. She has been a presence inside, scoring in the paint against the smaller Jayhawk defenders.
Adcock back to Brown. Brown will launch for 3. This one's an air ball off the hands of UCF and out of bounds.
Boy, and Caitlin Peterson was open on the right baseline. The leading scorer for UCF, one of the best in the Big 12 Conference, and they went away from her. And you got to think that UCF wants to get the ball in her hands, get her as many touches as they can down the stretch.
Reagan Williams, tough drive down the runway. Takes it right at ring and scores.
That is a very tough shot. As she works so hard, undersized post player Reagan Williams inside. She's got a lot of grit.
And we're tied at 54. Peterson running through a couple screens. Now finds Adcock, who cuts between 2 Jayhawk defenders for the hoop.
And again, Peterson made a great pass out of a double team that led to an open shot. Kansas has kept Peterson under wraps, but her teammates have stepped up.
She has to use a lot of that speed just to get the ball.
Yeah. Running
through a bunch of screens to get her open, and that time with a nice kick to her teammate. Here's Williams, fouled this time. Reagan Williams trying to make up for lost time. Was in foul trouble early in the game. Has played just 15 minutes, but has responded here in the 4th. We'll head back to the line for 2.
And Ring showing her hand straight up, but when the shot was taken by Reagan Williams, she came down with her hand and committed the foul.
And hits the first. Williams now with 8, 6 here in the 4th. And hits them both. Tied once again. Now the 10th tie. Make that 9th tie, 56 all. As UCF looks to the bench. Tia Messer calls out the play. She pointed at her bicep. I don't know what the call was, but something strong.
Something strong. Gotta think Peterson is a target again.
Behind the back dribble, almost turned it over into the backcourt, knocked away by Knessa. Here comes Brown. Shot clock expiring, and it will be a shot clock violation as Kansas gets a stop.
Big stop. Big stop for the Jayhawk defense. And again, they kept the ball out of the hands of Caitlin Peterson.
Somaya Nichols brings it now across the timeline. Good defense that time by Knessa in the backcourt.
Peterson is all over Nichols, and Brandon Schneider calls a timeout.
Time on the floor will take one as well. Tied at 56. Down the stretch we go. .244 to go. All square. We were tied at halftime. We are tied now in the fourth at 56. Somaya Nichols will inbound for Kansas. Corner to Evans, could not get a clean look at a three. They call that play often. Here's Copeland through traffic. Missed it. The go-to back in. She has 4 fouls. Down low for UCF, has played well. 9 points, 8 rebounds. Back on the floor at 4. Here's Peterson. Leading scorer for UCF. Rodriguez had 14 in the first half. Scoreless for the freshman in the second. Using a full shot clock again. Rodriguez with 2, with 1. Fires off the glass. Evans up high for the rebound. Another patient defensive end of the floor for Kansas.
Well, and we've seen 2 shot clock violations here in the fourth quarter. So the Kansas defense is working, but they need to get a score.
Nichols, the spin, then the step through for the bucket.
What
and
a
Kansas
move.
back in front.
What a move. Wow. I mean, there is Somaya Nichols on full display. Playing with 4 fouls, she has to be careful not to use too much contact, but what a quick move, and then going to the opposite side. Watch how quickly she spins and then steps through under control to go to her left hand to score. What a move.
So Nichols with 20, make it 16 now. 20-plus point performances on the season. Got to 1,000 points in the last game for the Jayhawks. And 20 again here tonight.
So back into the game is Nagodu, who is having a terrific night for UCF. She also has the 4 fouls, so watch for UCF to potentially go to her and get a touch inside.
We are getting closer and closer to the Big 12 Women's Basketball Championship in Kansas City, March 5th through the 9th.
Looking forward to it, having everybody all in one location. It's always my favorite time of year to be able to see these teams, and now with more teams added to the conference play, you know, being able to have some new teams come to experience March basketball in Kansas City, it's a special time of year.
Brenda will be on the call for a bunch of those contests coming up down in Kansas City.
So again, Peterson has been kept in check, but she is still the go-to for UCF. So I expect either her to get a touch here, or the way that Nagodu has been able to score in the paint, get a touch inside for the 6'3" sophomore.
Kick ball by Canessa, and UCF will get it back on the inbound. The 10th lead change of the ball game has Kansas in front now by 2.
Really important play for both teams. UCF needs a score. Kansas needs a stop.
Peterson off a screen. The roll for Nagodu, finishes, and the foul. That's that number 5 on Somaya Nichols.
So that's what I said. They're going to go to Nagodu inside because she has had such an impact on this game as she spins off the screen and roll, and Nichols was trying to rotate over but got underneath of her, tried to avoid contact, but it was a well-executed pick and roll for UCF, and Nagodu finishes and maybe more importantly fouls Somaya Nichols out.
Yeah, I don't know what was bigger, the bucket or the 5th foul. Free throws missed, but another offensive board, this time from Akkad. And UCF will pull it back out, tied at 58.
To me, it's been the story of the game have been the offensive rebounds for UCF. 14 offensive rebounds, 15 second chance points.
Brown off the window, too strong. Canessa the rebound for Kansas, a minute to play, tied at 58.
So where will Kansas go without Somaya Nichols in the game, with her fouling out? Where will they go for the score here in this critical part of the game?
Jayhawks leading score with 20, fouled out a moment ago. Reagan Williams, been big here in the fourth. Spins and gets it to drop. In traffic for Williams.
What a big shot for Williams. Really gutsy play. She has had a couple of those not go in, but she attacks. Nagodu goes up between a couple of defenders, and without using the backboard in traffic, which is tough to do, is able to get it up over the rim and score. What a big play for Williams and for the Jayhawks.
Williams, who's battled foul trouble tonight. 11 points, 9 have come here in the fourth quarter. And the big bucket there to put Kansas up 2. You see on the clock, 40.2 seconds to go for the UCF timeout.
So again, I would expect that UCF will try a two-player game between Peterson and Nagodu. That's what led to Nagodu having that screen and roll, and she was able to score and draw the foul on Nichols. But Nagodu has really just been able to have her way inside, so I expect for her to get a touch here for UCF.
Brown on the inbound. Peterson sets a screen, now rolls through to herself. Gets it up top. Rodriguez shook free of Evans for a second. Tries to go dribble. Evans stays strong and got a piece of it. Loose ball picked up by UCF. Stedman's three is off the mark, and Kansas gets the rebound from Harshaw.
Okay, first of all, Elle Evans and her length caused so much problems with her defense. She just stayed straight up on Rodriguez and was able to disrupt that shot. Now, the question is here for the officials, Kansas got the rebound. Did they call the timeout before making a move up the court? But watch as this play develops, and they're trying to set some staggered screens, and Rodriguez gets it. Watch Elle Evans' defense and her length as she is able to use her quickness and just keep her hands straight up and get a piece of that to be able to get the stop for the Jayhawks. But if Kansas got the timeout before the dribble by Harshaw, then they can advance it to the front court. But I believe, yeah, I think she started her dribble before they call the timeout, so they're going to have to inbound it in the backcourt. So that's the rule with the advancement, is you have to rebound and then call the timeout before making a play, making a movement. Kansas didn't do that. They have to inbound it on the inline.
They set the play and gets the full court pressure. Copeland looking for help, and Kansas will have to call timeout.
Well, they had Evans, who screened and then shot out. They could have gotten her the ball over the top, but I think Copeland saw that as too risky and ended up calling the timeout. They're trying to get it inbounds on the inline here, and so Evans is setting up this play.
See the assistant coach going, watch her, watch her, watch her.
Yeah, so she had the ball in the middle, but also Harshaw had that diagonal going across the half court, but pretty well defended by UCF, so Kansas had to burn the timeout.
I love when you see coaches have the scouting.
Yes.
You know, they've watched some plays before.
Oh, yeah. Back when I was an assistant, absolutely. You know the play before the play occurs on the court, and you're yelling exactly what they need to watch.
So Kansas will inbound again after the timeout. Get it to Knessa, who's immediately fouled by Peterson.
Well defended by UCF. I mean, they almost got a steal right under their own basket. That is tough to get the ball inbounds.
And Peterson, one of the best in the conference at that.
I believe that was only the fourth team foul.
Not bonus at the moment. So that's the fourth foul on UCF.
So UCF has another chance to get a steal under their own basket.
Copeland looking for help, gets it to Evans. Not an easy pass there, and Peterson comes over to commit the foul.
You know, Evans is such a great target because we just talked about her long arms and how that came into play defensively just a moment ago. But when you have such long arms like that, you can give a target out away from your defender, and that's where the pass went. And Elle Evans, an 83% free throw shooter, so a good one to go to the line for the Jayhawks here.
Evans hits the first, one of 4 double-figure scores tonight for Kansas. Somaya Nichols leads with 20, but fouled out. With the game tied in the final moments, Elle Evans knocks the free throw down. 15 points, 8 for 8 from the line from Evans as well, puts Kansas up 4.
Huge, huge free throws to make both of them and make this a 2-possession game. So Elle Evans made herself available, caught the pass with a lot of pressure, and UCF had to commit the foul, and Elle Evans delivered on the free throws.
Final timeout for UCF.
Yeah, UCF needs to score quickly. They've got time to get it to, but they're going to have some options here, but they absolutely have to score quickly. On the other hand, Kansas still has a timeout, so if they get a rebound or if UCF makes the shot, they want to call a timeout so they can advance it and not have to inbound it right under UCF's basket like they did the last 3 times they were trying to inbound it.
So UCF will inbound near their bench. Peterson, defended by Copeland. And I think we only had 4 on the floor. Stedman came back out. Not an illegal substitution, which would have been kind of costly. She was already in the mix. Got the ball to Brown. Gonna have to hurry now. Rodriguez takes a step. Long 3 is off the mark. Rebound to Canessa.
And Harshaw was trying to remind her, don't take the dribble before you call the timeout. Harshaw kind of had this look on her face like, don't do that.
Yeah, can't advance to midcourt. Again, Coach Brandon put his head down. we know better than that.
Yeah.
So they'll have to inbound again, length of the floor.
Got to be aware of that situation. The rule is if you get a rebound, you have to call a timeout before you make a move, and instead Canessa put the ball on the floor. It may be moot at this point, but it would actually give Kansas a better opportunity to inbound the ball in the front court. So they, you know, when you inbound it under your opponent's basket and they have the ability to get a steal and a quick score in this kind of a game, that is not the situation you want to be in. So if Kansas can throw it out over the top or make a clean pass inbounds, that's what they want to do here, and not throw it inbound right under UCF's basket.
And with the rule, you have the advantage, right? You want to get it to midcourt with that timeout. Kansas unable to do so, just with a loose, let's say a loose interpretation on their end of the rule, right? I think
just got ahead of themselves.
Coach Brandon would probably beg to differ, but Kansas will inbound again. That's the final Jayhawk timeout. So still a 2-possession game. Kansas will have to inbound underneath the UCF hoop. Copeland looking for help, and again, no timeouts. Blocked away on the inbound by Ring, but Harshaw able to pick up the loose ball.
And what they were trying to do was just throw the ball to the other end of the court, but because of the length of the defender on the ball,
Ring 6'5".
Yeah, Copeland couldn't even get it over the top of her, but what a heads-up play by Harshaw to go grab the basketball and not allow UCF to have an easy basket right there off the steal, off the deflection.
Harshaw hits the first. She hasn't been in the line all that much, just her 20th free throw of the season. Just 42%, goes 1 of 2, but it's not going to matter. UCF fires up the last shot, and Kansas will protect the home floor in a hard-fought victory tonight. 63-58.